quick. Graph y equals negative 1/2 times the square root of the quantity of x plus 6 plus 1 by hand 2 different ways. This is part of the family of functions series. You'll need graph paper, or you can download this PDF and print it. Press pause as needed anytime during this video. First, we need to decide what the parent function is and its shape. So this is the square root of x, or radical x, and this is its shape, half of a parabola going sideways. Keep that in mind as we're graphing that. Identify the parameters, and those are the values in the expression that affect the graph. And there are 3 different parameters in this equation. How do they affect the graph? Plus 1 shifts each point up 1, so it affects the y values. That plus 6 is inside the parentheses, inside the radical, so that affects the x values and shifts each point to the left 6 units. And the negative 1/2 multiplies each y value by negative 1/2. So it takes half, but also takes the opposite. What do we consider first? We suggest plotting the vertex first, which is normally at the origin. And that's affected by going left 6, so negative 6 for the x-coordinate, and up 1, so positive 1 for the y-coordinate. So plot negative 6, comma 1. That will be our vertex. We'll plot all points relative to that. Now we do the radical dance. So instead of right 1, up 1, we're going to go right 1, down 1/2, because that minus 1/2, that negative 1/2 times 1 is negative 1/2. So it flips it down. Instead of right 4, up 2, it'll be right 4, down only 1. Half of 2 is 1. It goes down because of the negative. Instead of right 9, up 3, it'll be right 9, but down 3/2. And instead of right 16, up 4, it'll be right 16, but down 2. Negative 1/2 times 4 is negative 2, down 2. Connect the points, make it look like a square root looking curve. The vertex is at negative 6, comma 1. And compare it to the parent function. You can see the parent function, it opens a different way and a different vertex. Second way, using a table. These are our 4 values we normally use in the square root of x graph. That plus 6 inside the function affects the x values. So we need to shift each point to the left 6, and to accomplish that we subtract 6 from each x value to get them to the left 6 units. So 0 minus 6 is negative 6. We ask that you finish those values right there. Press pause to do that. Resume when you're ready. 1 minus 6, negative 5. 4 minus 6, negative 2. And 9 minus 6 is positive 3. So those are the x coordinates. The other 2 parameters affect the y values. And using the order of operations, we need to multiply by negative 1/2 first, and then add 1. So 0 times negative 1/2 is 0, plus 1 is 1. You can see that calculation right here. We're going to ask that you go ahead and finish the other 3 values here, plot them, and graph it. Press pause as needed, and then resume when you're ready. Plotting negative 6, comma 1 there. 1 times negative 1/2 is negative 1/2 plus 1. So we're going to think of negative 1/2 plus 2/2 gives us a positive 1/2. And so we'll plot the point negative 5, comma 1/2. 2 times negative 1/2 is negative 1, plus 1 is 0. So plot negative 2, comma 0. And finally, 3 times negative 1/2 is negative 3/2, plus 1 is 2/2. That'll leave us negative 1/2. So over 3, down 1/2. Connect the points and compare it to the parent function. Now you try one. Graph y equals -2 times the square root of the quantity x minus 3 minus 4. Use either method or both for the practice. Press pause to do this and resume when you're finished to check your answer. And here's your answer in green. Notice the table is undefined until we get to x equals 3. That does ER stand for undefined or error.